is Natalia. Uh, we just closed on a home at the end of March. It's May 23rd, and I thought it would be fun to document our journey of creating a forever home. We're super excited about this space. I found it on Zillow about 2 hours after it went on the market. It's in a beautiful, beautiful subdivision here near the golf course in South Carolina. And it was a big home for us, especially because we'd been living in an apartment. And so we closed on it at the end of March, and we've just been slowly kind of working and fixing up the place. We have a lot going on. Both me and my husband both have two jobs. I am the director of marketing and events over at the Chamber of Commerce in Clemson, and he is a graphic designer and web developer at a company over downtown Easley. And then on top of that, we have a marketing company that we run out of our home that's relatively successful. So we do work quite a bit. I'm dressed up. I'm starting a little bit late today because I'm working late. We have the State of Central event tonight over at Southern Wesleyan University. And so there'll be a dinner, and the mayor will speak, the executive VP of SWU will speak, and that should be a fun event. This is the first State of Central since 2020, so we are kind of winging it and trying to figure out what to do, but I decided to kind of get started and give you guys a short tour of the outside space. There's a lot of gardens that I want to put in and talk about some of the challenges that we've already faced. Trying to get started and also show you around my sunroom. This is my sunroom. It's in between our converted garage and our main house, and my goal is to turn this into like a green oasis of sorts. So right now there's not much to it. There's not much to it outside, but we have to get started somewhere, and I want to show you around and take you along for the ride. We have two boys, a 15-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they're fantastic. This is the last week of school, so my 16-year-old is done. He's exempted all his exams, so he doesn't have to go to school today and tomorrow, and my little one has 2 half days, and so he will go to those because we don't want to miss all the kindergarten parties and all the last day fun for him, and then he'll be going to an after-school program at the karate center that he goes to. So without further ado, I'll take you around my my sunroom, and then I'll take you around the yard and give you guys a good look at what's happening out there and what we have planned out there, and we'll just be documenting that building process. All right, guys, I want to take you out on a little bit of a tour of the outside space that we have. This is our porch, and we also have a deck. This porch is completely enclosed. We do have a dog named Freddie, and this is his play yard. So we have a play set on the side of the house that I'll show you, and I'll probably move this play set in here. We have these beautiful honeysuckles that are growing here, and they smell amazing. And this is his little haven. So we'll probably leave it as is. My husband is very motivated to get the grass growing and get it nice and lively here, so we'll probably work on that in the near future. And then I do want to plant a pecan tree right around here somewhere. There is a line that runs through the back of the yard. I think it's a cable line, so we have to be very careful about where to plant that tree. But if you're going to plant pecans, I'm told that you need at least two trees and at least 2 different cultivars about 60 feet apart. So I'll show you where I want to plant the other pecan tree eventually. All right, so going onto our deck, we have some beautiful benches here. We have, you know, some of the plants. This is a pomegranate tree, and those should live down here. So hopefully this one survives and it will grow. We do have some blueberry bushes that are going to be friends with the blueberry bush that's already in the front yard that we moved into. Someone had planted a rabbit eye, which needs a pollinator all by itself in the middle of the front yard. So I had to get it some friends, and so I'll show you where that garden bed will be. We did find this pot full of soil when we first moved in, and I thought it was just a dead plant, and I just set it out by the shed, and it sprouted in the spring. So now we have this beautiful plant. And I do plan on putting it over here next to this plant. This is another plant that sprouted. I thought, I didn't know there was anything growing here. But, you know, when spring came and it started to rain, we got this little plant. So it's going to get a couple little friends here. Let's see. So we got this tree and this shed. There's still some cleanup left from the old you know, owners. They just left a bunch of stuff here, and I just haven't had time to drop it off or you know, donate it or bring it to the dump. So we'll be working on that and making this place pretty. A whole bunch of wood was left around the property that we're going to have to deal with, and you see they've taken out several trees. There used to be a ton of trees in this yard, and I'm a little worried about the amount of roots underneath. But you can see the little flag back there. That is the cable line, so we need to make sure we don't plant anything here that will kind of trip up that cable line. So I do want to plant a pecan tree right about here. That's about 60 feet away from the other one that I pointed out earlier. So hopefully it will do well. On the other side of the driveway here, this is kind of what we moved into. I'll take you around and show you. So when we moved in, we had these 2 grape trellises that were planted, and they were a lot smaller. This vine was like just sprawled across the ground. I had to kind of dig up some branches and wire it up over here so it can actually grow and thrive. This little guy right here is a dwarf blackberry bush that I planted next to it. And you see it's kind of ugly right now, lots of weeds. We're going to turn this into a beautiful garden bed eventually. Let's see. So I believe this is a rhododendron, but it's struggling hard in this space. So I hope I can save it. I'm going to have to dig it up and just put it elsewhere in the yard, somewhere that gets a little bit more light, and hopefully it will thrive there. So there was this cherry tree that was planted here when we moved in, and I know that grapes and cherries don't like living next to each other, so we're going to have to move this cherry tree probably to the other side of the house eventually, and give it a chance to grow, you know, because we don't want to kill plants around here. Let's see. So, and then we also have this beautiful honeysuckle growing up the house. It smells amazing. And let me take you out to this little section. So this little section looks like there was a giant pine tree that was cut down over here. I was told that this entire space was like covered in giant pines and other understory trees, and they cleaned it all out. So, you know, it's a very nice sunny spot. I planted a mulberry tree over here. We had a mulberry tree at our first house in Boiling Springs, and so it was huge. It was like 25, years old, and it was covered in mulberries. So we want to, as part of our forever home, we want to have a mulberry tree. So hopefully in 25 years we'll have a beautiful tree. I'm going to cover this with some creeping plants, just make it pretty. Don't worry about digging it up and stuff like that, but turn it into a garden bed. All right, so here is the very lonely blueberry bush that was just in the middle of our yard. I dug this up. Actually, one of my neighbors came and tilled up this spot. We just started putting mulch on it. I'm doing it little by little, just after work and between everything. And then we'll just make this into like a very asymmetrical, organic shaped garden bed that is for acidic plants. And that should be a fun little space. This little middle section, I think, will become our vegetable garden. I wanted to plant it on the other side of the house, but I'll show you why that probably won't be possible. I just called 811 on Monday, it's Thursday now, and ordered, a survey to make sure that I'm not going to hit a water main or anything like that. While planting. You see there's a lot of work to be done here. I'll probably dig up this bush and plant a bunch of herbaceous perennials in this area, maybe put another tree in here. I've intentionally not dug up a bunch of stuff. I want to see what's growing here before I start moving things around. There's a lot of these plants that were just dead when we moved in March, and they've just been sprouting up everywhere. So I'm still getting surprises in my garden. I think that is a hydrangea over there, which is really fun. And so we'll see what's growing over here, and then probably after the summer I'll start planning to move stuff around in the front yard. Let's see. So here is the side yard. I was told that when the old owners moved in here and started planting, that they hit a water main and spun a giant leak. So I want to avoid that. Over here, as you can see, this is the play yard. We're probably going to move the play set inside of Freddie's exercise yard. And this is where I wanted to have my vegetable garden. But as you can see, the cable lines and the electric lines run diagonally straight through where our garden would have been. So so plan B, we're going to have to move that garden bed to the other side of the house. Over here, I'm going to just have some we're going to cover up all of these units here and create a few garden beds. I do want to put raspberries here with yarrow and lavender. It's just going to be a very pretty perennial garden. Some more over here. I want to put the pomegranate tree over here, but I obviously need to be very careful about where our wires run. As you can see over here, we'd been digging, and little lines everywhere. This little corner, I want to plant some mint and some sorrel and some other perennials that just love shade. This is outside of our breakfast nook, and it's a really nice space, but we're going to have to be very careful with the space. I may have to just build up and not down, and put some dirt in there and then just plant on top of it, just to make sure that I don't damage anything under the ground. So yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at here. Lots of weeds in the yard. We're going to have to probably resod all of the grass at some point. But we want to install all the garden beds before we go through that process. It's not a very cheap process, and it's not an easy or fast process. So we're going to be working hard on that for a while. But that's kind of where we're starting with. And I hope you follow the journey and join us. Thank you. So this is actually take 2 of my sunroom. I recorded it yesterday, but it did not upload for some reason. It didn't come out. So I'm gonna take you around. This is the space. You can see it's really tall ceilings. This is what it looked like when we moved in. You know, the blue walls I'm not a huge fan of, so we'll have to repaint these walls. This light fixture doesn't really go with the space. It seems very small for the space. So I'll probably change that out at some point, get rid of the popcorn ceiling. And then we have the back of the fireplace here. This door leads to the living room, and that door across leads to our offices. In the bathroom, there's 3 bedrooms in the converted garage space. So 2 of the bedrooms are to our offices, and then there's a full bath and a guest bedroom in there. But this room is going to be a little garden oasis. I've already started installing some plants. I do want to install some, you know, little sconces for hanging plants along this wall here, and get some vining plants. I already started with this little guy. This is going to be our first little vining plant. Planted a little bit of herbs, and they've just sprouted. I planted them about on the 13th, so it's been about 10 days. We do have this little plant that just loves living in water, so I have it in a vase. Some violets here. We're going to have to switch out all of these covers here. Let's see, I do want to install a water feature along this wall as well, so that will be fun. Get a few more orchids. And then we have a lime tree over here that seems to be doing pretty well. There's a lemon tree that's doing pretty well. Look at these little buds. And then we have a little baby lemon. So hopefully that grows. We do have a fig tree. We have 12-foot ceilings in here, so I'm hoping it will get, you know, up to 12 feet. And then I want to put it in the middle of the room here, and then put a big orange daybed across the room here, just so I can have like a little space where, you know, when I leave my office in the afternoon, I can stop here, read a book, relax, unwind, and then transition to my home. So there's like a transitional space between work and home, and I love the idea of doing that. The floors need to be refinished. So the last owners had some birds in here, so the floors are in really bad shape, so we're probably going to have to sand those down, restain them, reseal them, all that good stuff. But this is a process, and this is where we're starting. So enjoy the before, and I'll keep you up to date as we make changes in here.